Yeah, Rob couldn't follow him, yeah. He'd be like, what pogo stick? Larry said
Thanks, X-Pogo. We'll see you at halftime.
Maybe you can jump on the stick anytime you want. I was waiting to make a joke. I just used the setup. It's a baseball term.
And now for the starting lineups for Phoenix Rising FC. In goal, number 1, Rocco Rios Novo. On defense, number 27, Kevon Lambert. On defense, number 4, Danielle Crutzen. On defense, number 30, Alejandro Funmayor. At midfield, number 26, Renzo Zambrano. At midfield, number 67, Carlos Harvey. At midfield, number 2, Darnell King. At midfield, number 17, Danielle Trejo. At midfield, number 8, Jose Hernandez. At forward, number 23, Edwin Unjoma. And at forward, number 9, Manuel Artiega.
On a Saturday night, we welcome you to the Steel City and Highmark Stadium for USL Championship action. As tonight, it's Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC and Phoenix Rising FC. Tonight's match is presented by Allegheny Health Network, the official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us alongside Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Drew Casey. Delighted you've joined us here this evening as East meets West. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings as Pittsburgh checks in well inside the playoff line. Ricky, 20 points, tied for the second highest total.
And for Bob Lilly, it's all about the reaction. You take down Loudoun at Loudoun. So now at home, at Highmark, in front of your hostile environment, what does the first 10 to 15 minutes look like? But again, Bob Lilly mentioned right around the corner is the Open Cup. So you're going to see a little bit of rotation within the starting lineup. But again, playing for 3 points at home, always for Bob Lilly's side.
Riverhounds have been fantastic as of late, winners of their last 5 in all competitions. More on the Open Cup later. No Albert Dequin tonight, so likely even more attention given to Canardo Ford.
And so much of what the Riverhounds want to do going forward and defensively comes through Canardo Ford's ability to pick out passes through breaking lines. He's so special, so he's going to ask a lot of questions of this back line for Phoenix Rising, and if you're Bob Lilly, you want him on the ball early and often.
Other side, leading scorer for Phoenix, 5 goals. That's the 6th most in USL Championship. The 28-year-old Manuel Arteaga.
And he's just been so special for Phoenix Rising. He's going to stay high. He's going to occupy the center backs for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. But it's all about his movement, whether it's to come to feet, but also to get on the end of things. You're talking to Juan Guerra. You want him, and getting him service is going to be massive for this success. So look for Juan Guerra to ask questions of Manuel Arteaga to get him early and often involved.
Exciting one on our hands as we turn to our keys to the game, brought to you by the premium light lager that embodies all things black and gold. It's IC Light. Ricky, what do you see this evening?
And for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, it's all about making better decisions once in the final third. Talking about that Loudoun game, they had so many opportunities but didn't put the game to bed. And for Phoenix Rising, match intensity. We talked about this hostile environment, the turf field that's going to be very narrow. So throw combinations out the field and formation. So it all comes down to 1v1 battles. So you need to match that intensity for the visitors.
Approaching the opening touch, it's the third all-time meeting between Pittsburgh and Phoenix. It's coming up right after this from Highmark Stadium.
At AHN, we see you when everything's going great, and when that's not the case at all. We see you needing expert care every single day, and excited for all that's to come. At AHN, we see you.
Let's go, come on. I love a new color and a new game. I like to switch it up, wherever my mood takes me. I'm always just doing me. And today, I'm me loving the PA Lottery. The games have become a part of me. They make me happy. They get me excited. And when I want to try something new, I'll just go to another, and then another, and another.
There's a lot of love for the Pennsylvania Lottery. And when you see how fun it is, you'll understand why.
Walter's owner doesn't have spectacular credit, but here he is catching more air than a surfer during a hurricane. You see, his human just got approved to finance a road trip ready car because Byrider looked at extra factors beyond her credit, like her monthly income. And with Byrider's on-site service departments and optional service protection plans, they can keep road tripping for years to come. Get credit for being you at Byrider.com.
The first thing I'm gonna do at the Museum of Play is scale the beanstalk. No, wait, the giant Etch-a-Sketch. Yes, maybe the video game arcade. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm riding the choo-choo. Whoop, whoop! Yeah. The Museum of Play really is the ultimate place to train.
Get it?
With so much to do and see, everyone loves the strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York.
Just moments away from the opening touch between Pittsburgh and Phoenix. Time to look at the starting 11. Tonight's starting lineups are presented by Armina Stone. As we take a look, we already mentioned it's no Alper Dikwa tonight for Pittsburgh, Ricky, so it looks slightly different at least.
And it all comes down to fluidity for Bob Lilly. You're going to see Kizza and Shiomi. Shiomi's going to stay high. Kizza might come underneath, but then it all comes down to that middle five. It can quickly look like a back five. Griffin, Ibarra, and Forbes, how quickly can they get on the ball, play at their tempo, and again, for Bob Lilly, this side is very talented, but you're looking about fluidity, you're looking at rotation, especially in the center of the park.
On the other side, Phoenix 7th in the Western Conference, just one change from a week ago for head coach Juan Guerra.
And it was a much needed change. You have Monjomo, he's going to shift to the left-hand side. Darnell King's going to push as a wingback, so they're going to provide the width and join the attack as they see fit. Arteaga's going to stay high. Danny Trejo has the ability to stretch the game, but also come underneath. And again, that middle three, Zambrano, Harvey, and Hernandez, the engine for this Phoenix Rising side.
These teams do not meet very often, of course, East and Western Conference foes in USL Championship. This is the third all-time meeting, but the first in 9 seasons. The last time these two sides matched up, Phoenix Rising wasn't even known as Phoenix Rising. It was Arizona United in 2014. Phoenix, for their credit, as a franchise, has won both prior meetings. As we are underway, freight train rolling by. Maybe we'll get a game like that, perhaps, as we are so glad you're with us for Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC and Phoenix Rising FC. Had a little bit of weather in the area earlier. Temperature 77 degrees, feels like 80, humidity 65% for this contest here at Highmark. One of the most unique venues across USL Championship, and just fantastic sight lines here in Pittsburgh. Once again, delighted you're with us alongside Ricky Lopez-Espin, the rest of our team. I'm Drew Casey.
It's going to be very interesting this first 5 minutes here, Drew. We're going to see the Pittsburgh Riverhounds try to press high, especially off of a goal kick. That's something that Juan Guerra mentioned on our phone call. Said they weren't clean enough playing out of the back at home against Vegas, so something to right the wrongs. And you're seeing Bob Lilly already applying pressure, trying to force turnovers up on the field.
Slightly misplaying nearly, but aggressive off his line and able to clean it up is the Pittsburgh keeper, Jamali Wade. It escaped Mike DeShields a little bit there. DeShields getting the start for Bob Lilly's crew, who, as we've talked about and hinted at, big time week coming up. Lots of action. 3 games in 8 days, with the highlight on Tuesday against FC Cincinnati in the Open Cup quarterfinals. They'll go to Cincy for that. And interestingly enough, of course, you had to ask Bob Lilly about that when we spoke to him earlier in the week. It's not an all-in type of mentality for the Open Cup. There's going to be rotation throughout the next 3, and this is something that Phoenix Rising supporters do not want to see in the opening 2 minutes. Arteaga down and reaching for his face.
Highlighted him in the open. He's such a special part on the attacking phase for Phoenix Rising. Hopefully he's okay to keep on going. So interesting about Manuel Arteaga. Yes, he has 5 goals, 3 assists on the year, but you ask Juan Guerra about him, says everything he does off the ball that makes him so special, whether it's making selfless runs to open up opportunities for other players, but also just battling with center backs and tearing them down at over 90 minutes. Again, he's going to be a big challenge and asking a lot of questions of this back line for the Riverhounds.
Previously with Indy 11 prior to his time here with Phoenix, Arteaga. 5 goals, the 6th most in USL Championship. Also leads this Phoenix squad at helpers with 3. And that is tied for 4th most in the league. So a threat week in and week out to do some big things. Here's a good surge from Carlos Harvey, wearing 67 in the whites for Phoenix. Dropped off right for Danny Griffin to toss aside. And we'll get a whistle here for a foul. Referee is Elton Garcia this evening, adjudicating this one between Pittsburgh, 5-2-5 in USL. 20 points, tied for 2nd most points in the East. Phoenix comes in 4-3-4, 16 points. That is currently 7th in the Western Conference when the weekend began, so just inside that playoff line.
Been a bright start for Phoenix Rising. You just see the ability to break that initial press. Carlos Harvey, known for his passing, but the ability to run with the ball once again. And then Danny Trejo just picking the pocket of Ibarra there. So again, how quickly can Phoenix Rising match up the tempo, ask questions, and be on the front foot? That's something that Juan Guerra is going to want, especially at this hostile environment in Highmark.
Trejo for Phoenix, really solid last week in creating chances, especially off the left side and against Vegas in a match that Phoenix really dominated in the second half. But one moment of brilliance for Vegas gave them the win, and the only win that Las Vegas has registered this season. And Phoenix wanted to get back to it quickly, having to defend here in a dangerous area. Play continues, and we get the whistle. And the on-rusher, Tola Shawanmi, and Forbes there too.
But it's a fantastic ball in from Danny Griffin. Just punches it into the path of Shawambi. Something that you have Lambert in that back line. When Mayor and Crutzen, the ability to have the recovery runs. That's one step. The other two need to pinch underneath him. Relationship on the front line for Pittsburgh. Riverhounds, Shawambi and Kiza. As one stay highs, one has the ability to come into the half pocket to provide the support system. That's something to keep an eye out on the front line for Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
And for the Riverhounds faithful, we should mention Dikwa did train earlier this week, so certainly could be an option coming up in the Open Cup on Tuesday. Good ball in here. It gets through everybody. Evaded the defensive head of Fuenmayor, and it will fly out. Let's see. It will be a corner.
Fans, it's time for a Quantum Spirits corner kick.
This will be the first corner for either side, and it will be Pittsburgh to let one loose here in the 6th minute. Forbes, who we highlighted at the outset. Long look in here as the folks inside energized by the stadium DJ inside and headed off that 6-yard box line and out of immediate danger, but not all danger. Back to Forbes, but too strong.
Set pieces are going to be very important for the Riverhounds. You talk about their front line, the aerial presence between Shawonmi and Kiza. So again, testing and challenging for every single ball, battling with Fuenmayor, Lambert, and Crutzen in their own rights, very physical as well.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, a very efficient team when they have opportunities, and frankly, when they have possession. Pittsburgh, arguably the most comfortable team without the ball here at USL Championship. 44% possession. That's the second lowest rate in the league. Phoenix likes to have the ball a bit more, especially last week against Las Vegas. 68% of possession time, but it was a 1-0 loss.
And that's something that Juan Guerin told us as well, Drew, that this Pittsburgh Riverhound side are very comfortable being uncomfortable. They like to invite a lot of pressure and catch you in transition moments. So again, Phoenix Rising, they want to be expansive. They want to have their win back stay high and wide to create openings between lines. So again, if you're the Riverhounds and you can force a turnover, there's going to be tons of real estate to go back the other way, especially in transition moments.
This is Forbes here, highlighted at the top of the show at the corner moments ago. Montguera also mentioning the width of the field perhaps playing a slight role. One of the more narrow sides, also a turf facility here in Pittsburgh, so that plays a little bit of a role as well. Phoenix did train yesterday here on this field. Ball nearly got through. Flag might have come up, but didn't get there. Great Nats. You can hear Bob Lilly on the sideline. You heard it loud and clear in your living room.
Always coaching, isn't he?
Great work by our crew here at Highmark Stadium tonight. Turning into a nice evening here in Pittsburgh for a matchup between two very solid sides over the course of recent memory in USL Championship. No whistle here. Play continues. You're just joining us. It's Phoenix in the whites, Pittsburgh in the black-based uniforms. Rising here and sent wide in a little transition.
The recognition of space from Danny Trejo as Riverhounds cheaply give the ball away. Let's play direct. Let's go in behind this high line. Carlos Harvey, we talked about his ability, whether it's with the ball at his feet, but also the passing range that he possesses. It's a nice little warning shot for Phoenix Rising. The movement on the front line is just so exquisite between Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga. The relationship between those two that are coming as they're playing more times often than not with each other. You just see how compact Phoenix Rising is in their defensive shape.
Trejo getting the half step on Ordonez and Hogan off the high side there. Trejo 4 goals in USL competition. Hit a crossbar last week in the 72nd minute when it was still 0-0 with Vegas. Is headed back, and it can be played if chosen by Rocco Rios Novo, who's had a fantastic campaign for Phoenix. Just 20 years old, originally from Argentina, previously with Atlanta United 2. He's played every single minute in goal this season. Young, growing, moments of brilliance, and also moments to grow in as well. Certainly a new look roster for Phoenix this year under head coach Juan Guerra, who came over in August last season to become the Phoenix manager from Oakland.
And the one word that he kept on mentioning to us was just consistency, whether it's in performances that's been up and down, but also personnel. Really getting bit by the injury bug. So understanding the rhythm, the continuity. We talked about coming in 18 new players for this Phoenix Rising side. So you're always going to get ups and downs. So the more times you can get on the field, understanding the tendencies of your teammates, the better. And now you start to see the pieces fall into place for Juan Guerra. Stringing in a couple of results after results, but see last week against Vegas, a little bit of a hiccup, and he said we didn't start the game very well. It took us about an hour to get back into this game. So for Phoenix Rising, the start, 10 minutes in, much better.
And through an hour, through 60 minutes, it was still 0-0. Phoenix took over. It was one chance for Vegas from distance, and it was able to be headed on by for the only goal of what was possession in the second half, 74-26. Don't see that very often, but of course it's just that 1-0 result that matters. First third of the regular season wrapping up here tonight with what is matchup number 12 for Phoenix, 13th for Pittsburgh in USL Championship regular season action. Just the one shot for Trejo a few moments ago. Officially, Kiza shot blocked in the 6th minute, so both teams do have one shot at this point. Just the 11th minute here in Pittsburgh tonight. No contact there, but working through it. Shawunmi, 22-year-old, has shown some flashes this season. Now here's Forbes, but no outlet in front.
Just need to be a bit more decisive once you get going forward for the Riverhounds. Shawunmi does very well to spin off, but there needs to be a secondary movement. Where's Kiza dropping in? Or is he the one testing and getting in behind the back line? So far, 12 minutes in for this back three for Phoenix Rising. Everything has been in front of them. It's been super easy for the visitors.
Should also mention a new addition to the roster of Phoenix Rising FC and available today. Fans of USL Championship know the name from Loudon. And Panos Armanakis announced yesterday the official transfer from Loudon. Loudon is out west tonight against Monterey Bay. Panos did not go all the way out and come back. He stayed on the East Coast, and he joined the team prior to this one and did train yesterday and is an option on the 18, so perhaps an opportunity in the late minutes, but that likely a big piece for Juan Guerra's crew going forward.
There was a lot of eyebrows when that report came out. Talk about attacking ability. The players 1v1 combination play. It's right into the mold of what Juan Guerra is building here.
Trying to go over the top, Wade aggressively off his line and able to control for the host Riverhounds. Goals against them, under 1 for Wade. This is the 12th start. Has allowed 10 goals. Had the league save of the week back in week 4. Only has missed 1 match this season back in March when he was playing for his national team with Jamaica. And with the Open Cup success for Pittsburgh this year, Wade has 5 clean sheets in 13 starts. 2 of them in Open Cup against MLS sides, New England, Revolution, Columbus Crew, becoming the first lower division team to shut out consecutive MLS sides ever in US Open Cup history. So Pittsburgh is doing some fantastic things for themselves and for the league as well.
Just so hard to break down. You just see the structure. Everyone knows their role. As one player steps up, the other players around him drop in and provide the coverage. You talk about defensive, only 11 goals let in on the season. Something that Bob Lilly is known for, how disciplined or how organized he sets up his side. And none difference here, 14 minutes in, not really giving Phoenix Rising any sort of opportunity to get in behind their back line.
Those 11 goals allowed by Riverhounds, the third fewest in the league entering the weekend. Phoenix on the other side, a goal differential that's even, 14 scored and allowed through 11 matches played, that is.
Game just feels like it's stuck in first gear at the moment. Let's for someone to produce an individual brilliance, whether it's a combination, shot from distance, test to the keepers, been widely untested already in.
Show on me. Working and trying to get through, cannot. Evan Lambert with a strong defensive play. Saw Juan Guerra a moment ago. Wonder if he's got a second shirt in the locker room to change into at halftime. Last week he went from the white shirt to the black shirt. In the second half, more chances. He goes with the black shirt to start tonight. You wonder if that's something to do with it. Just joining us, I do not mean to confuse you. Phoenix is in the white uniforms as a team. Pittsburgh in the black-based uniforms. Rising off the left wing here, an opportunity. Manchoma looking for the switch. Two hands wide open for Lambert. Doesn't come his way. The shot fired instead by Harvey from long range. Blocked near the top of the box. And Pittsburgh can control momentarily at least.
You just talk about defensive structure once again for the Riverhounds. Everything in that mid to low block, forcing Phoenix Rising around them, never through them. The way that you beat that block is just you have to have a lot of movement on that front line. Whether it's Arteaga getting into space, Danny Trejo coming to feet, and the ball needs to move very quick. So far, we just mentioned, Drew, it's been very stagnant, very pedestrian-like for both sides, feeling each other out. The attacking talent that's on display here, you expect goals and you expect them often.
Again, no Dequa for Pittsburgh. Leading scorer, league's leading scorer, tied at the top with 9. And Arteaga, we've only seen him once, and that was when he was down in the opening 2 minutes, just for a moment. Did not require the training staff to come onto the field or anything like that. But it has been a quiet start here in Pittsburgh.
And it's very similar how both of these sides set up. Whether it's that middle three, Jose Hernandez, Harvey, and Zambrano for Phoenix. But the other side, it's Griffin, Forbes, and Ibarra. The relationships and the spacing between lines is going to be extremely important to the success going forward. We saw moments ago, Jose Hernandez just play off the shoulder of Bernardo Forbes. So if you can get any of those players on the half turn facing the opposing back line, there's going to be tons of options going forward. But how you get into that spot is a question mark.
Zambrano sends this one ahead. No option on the other side. This one cleared ahead. Just a handful of shots so far. It was 1-1 until that long-range shot from Harvey. See a nice attendance here tonight. Turned into a nice evening on this Saturday, the first Saturday of June. Phoenix manager Juan Guerra excited about the calendar turning, just a reset. Pittsburgh unbeaten in its last 8. Doesn't matter what day or month it is as of late. Talked about the rotation a little bit. A couple of players available on the bench, including Nathan Dos Santos, nearly 1,000 minutes this season. Available later, Luke Biazzi and Robbie Mertz as well, who have each played in 10 or more league contests. It was a big part of that rotation. Left-footed cross, not going to get through, but it will result in a corner kick. Eddie Manchoma, who showed some moments last week as well.
And if you can get your wingbacks pinned back the opposing wingbacks, there's going to be tons of gaps to play in between. You can see the frustration on Bob Lilly's face. There's just no movement on the front end. Everything has been in front of Phoenix Rising, whether it's Kizu, whether it's Xiaomi. You need to test and stretch the game open. That's when you can break them down through possession. But again, Phoenix Rising, you know, that's their 3 center backs, has been very easy and straightforward, just shifting from left to right, excuse me, and just stepping into that middle third.
Crutzen and Hernandez lining it up. It will be Crutzen, out swinger, caught the head of Fuenmayor, and now cleared away by Pittsburgh, on up ahead and out of what is the danger area, all the way back to the keeper on the other end. Already into the 20th minute. Just joining us, it has been a chess match thus far. And not much offensive opportunities on either side. Now we asked Bob Lilly, and it's the obvious question. Do you feel that this could be a trap in terms of a trap game with Tuesday coming and the Open Cup quarterfinal and what will be one of the biggest matches in Pittsburgh Riverhounds club history? I think that almost came up on a handball, but not ruled as such on Hernandez. And he said because of the rotation of the lineup, opportunities for players to start who don't typically start, they should be ready, but we will continue to verbalize that the only focus is Phoenix. We have a whistle here, and this will be a foul, and a dangerous area. Best set piece opportunity coming up from a bit of a slight short corner.
Yeah, Blacksaw gets in behind the shoulder of Darnell King. Just a sloppy challenge in the end. There's no need to lunge into it. He's in the corner. You need to get beat by piece, but how do you recover? Just move your feet, force him into making a decision now. Very dangerous set piece for Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Canardo Forbes coming up to take, who is the club leader in assists in club history, also the league leader in league history. A career 58 assists in USL Championship for Forbes. Numerous honors, a 6-time all-league selection, including the last 5 seasons.
And you're looking for quality here. Aiming for right on top of that 6-yard box between that penalty mark. Ask questions of Rios Novo. Cause chaos within this back line of Phoenix Rising.
Into it with the right foot. The serve is in. It's a good one, and it's into the back of the net. It's an opening goal for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Arturo Ordonez, 1-0 in the 22nd minute. Great quality there on the take from Forbes.
Just pure will. Pure will to beat your individual mark. On the heels of scoring out loud, and what can the center back do? 3rd goal on the year. Rises up. And what a textbook header this is. You talked about Canardo Forbes, the history in terms of his assists within USL Championship. That's not X and O's. That's just pure will, tenacity to get on the end of it. Gets off the shoulder between Kevin Lambert and Fuenmayor. Everyone's on their heels. Not that man. Off to the corner to celebrate. Rises up, heads it down. Rios Novo has no opportunity. Pittsburgh Riverhounds get their goal on the 23rd minute.
You saw Fuenmayor, 30 in the white. Thought maybe he was over the back a little bit against him, but did not appear so. No call coming. And the goal is into the back of the net for Pittsburgh, officially in the 22nd. And as Ricky mentioned, for Ordonez, 3rd goal in USL Championship competition this year, and Forbes gets another assist, 4th assist this season, and 59 in his USL Championship career.
And on the back end of that, Javier Wangera, very frustrating once again. We talked about the performance at Las Vegas. It comes off of a throw and goes out the other side. The ball ends up in the back of the net. Now this is just a set piece. Someone loses their individual mark, loses their individual battle, and now you're on an uphill battle 23 minutes in. Nervy moments once again in that back line. So what does this next 5 minutes look like for Phoenix Rising in terms of it's a great spot there from Jose Hernandez.
And a place Pittsburgh plays extremely well this year, 3-0-1 here at home. Looking for a quick counter. Eddie Manjoma crosses in to the near post, It stays in play, and the rush continues with help off the near side now. Trejo had his cross or shot blocked. Still, though, maintaining possession. Trejo's been excellent this season in goal scoring opportunities. Carlos Harvey furthering it back to Munjoma now. On the switch for Lambert, wore the captain's armband a week ago. Cross in with the right, but headed right where it came from by Mike DeShields. Got a whistle here, and it will be a free kick coming for Phoenix. Tola Shawunmi with the foul, and Hernandez getting set here. An opportunity to quickly equalize.
It's a brilliant step from Fuenmayor. Just picks a pocket of Shawunmi. Loose touch. Now Jose Hernandez feels the contact. It goes down in a very dangerous set piece once again for Phoenix Rising. Brilliant distance, go up and over the wall underneath the crossbar. Crutzen, the ability to whip in a ball with pace.
Hernandez there as well, but would expect it to be Crutzen, the 26-year-old from Belgium. A wall of 3 for the host Riverhounds, up 1-0 with the goal coming in the 22nd minute, just recently here this evening. It will be Crutzen, left foot towards goal, and it's wide. Great strike, but just missed it.
Highmark Stadium is a smoke-free and vape-free facility with a safety and
so certainly the best opportunity for Phoenix of the night. Trying to bury it and bend it inside the near post. Unable to do so, and a bit of a helter-skelter play here. The referee, Elton Garcia, was kind of in the way. I'm not sure the ball actually hit him, but he was in the way enough for what will create a restart.
As Crutzen sets up to this, just hits it with a lot of venom, just pulls it a bit too wide, but you just see the quality on that left foot from the center back. I think that's on target, causing all sorts of problems for Waite. Fortunate enough for the goalkeeper, he sees it just go wide, but like you said, Drew, probably the best opportunity for Phoenix Rising.
Did not miss by much. Pittsburgh looking to get right back to it with this service in from Forbes. Very similar area where he had the set piece service. But an easy catch and control for the Phoenix keeper in Rocco Rios Novo.
And again, you see this high press from the Riverhounds. So if you can break that initial press for Phoenix Rising, there's going to be tons of green grass to operate in, especially on the weak-sided midfielder, whether it's Carlos Harvey, whether it's Jose Hernandez. We've seen them get in really good areas between the lines of the Riverhounds.
Fortunate bounce, but it will not matter. Offside flag is up. Phoenix does not agree.
Fans, please remember that Highmark Stadium is a
Came around the shoulder as well. Fortunate break for Mike DeShields in Pittsburgh. DeShields entering only with 36 minutes played in USL Championship competition this year. Plenty of experience a season ago with New England Revolution 2. The 5th overall pick in the 2021 draft as well. That was by DC United. Juan Guerra's club down 1-0 on the 22nd minute strike from Ordonez off of the set piece service from Forbes from the near side, and it was headed in. Ordonez able to beat Fuenmayor and head it out in. Outside of that opportunity and the Crutzen free kick, it's really been a quiet one. Return to that methodical pace that we saw in the first 15-ish minutes.
And I think you go back to the initial argument that we had, no one making runs in behind. Just look at your screen right here. Everyone's trying to come to feet. No one is stretching the game. If you get caught offside, that's fine. But again, it's just that threat in the back of the line. Here we go.
Onside play on the run. Arteaga, first time we've called his name in nearly a half hour. Fuenmayor deflects it enough to maintain possession with Kevin Lambert recycling with Crutzen around the back.
But again, Drew, if you can get on the end of that, it's a second ball that you pick up in a more advanced position in your final third. That's something that center backs have a nightmare dealing with. When they turn around facing their own goal, that's when you start to see mistakes happen, whether it's communication, coverage. So again, probably not the most pleasing to the eye, but it's very effective, especially when you're trying to kickstart your possession based.
Can't watch the match? Then turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern Time. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more. That's all on SiriusXM FC, channel 157, and the SXM app. Nearly a half hour complete with the rest of our team, and alongside Ricky Lopez Espid, I'm Drew Casey. Thank you so very much for joining us here in the Steel City tonight. Pittsburgh the 1-0 advantage on the Ordonez tally from Forbes in the 22nd minute off a set piece.
Riverhound Academy
Lily's
alumni.
crowd, his crew rather, up 1-0, and a great crowd in attendance here, always well attended here at Highmark. Forbes works it on back, working with Mark Ibarra, the 24-year-old from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Good reversal. Langston Blackstock. Drop back for Forbes. Forbes right foot. Near side, well wide.
Better defensively for the Rising. As this ball comes over to Blackstock, you just see 3 white shirts coming around. Jose Hernandez throws his Cornado Forbes that throws him off. But again, if you're the Riverhounds, if you can create overloads on wide areas and pull out those wing backs, there's going to be tons of space to work into. Just sloppy playing out of the back for Phoenix Rising. You need someone dropping down as that 4 Riverhounds players step up. You can get in behind them. A numerical advantage going back in the attacking phase of the game.
The shots in this one are now level at 3 apiece, only 1 on target. It was, of course, the goal from Ordonez. Both teams relatively equal in final third entries. Pittsburgh 17, Phoenix 15. Game that we expected could certainly require multi-goals. Would not have been surprised, and still might not be surprised if we get to 3-2. But look at expected goals, 0.4 to 0.1. Pittsburgh that edge there in the advanced metrics. Fuenmayor across the back, Phoenix back line, Lambert, Fuenmayor, Crutzen. Both teams at the start, a variation with the personnel of a 3-5-2. Certainly will likely see some adjustments throughout the evening. Week 13 of USL Championship action. Kevin Lambert, 25-year-old from Jamaica, slots in, looking for a combination. Now Harvey here, taken down. We'll get a whistle here. Failing there. Don't think we're going to see a card. It will be a free kick opportunity for Phoenix after the failing takedown.
Methodical from Phoenix Rising, probably the best passage of play that we've seen. But as there's an overload here, yeah, it's a harsh challenge from failing to, I don't think gets a foul in there at all. Gets all the ball. Maybe exposed of the studs. Other than that, there's no real contact made. He gets all of the ball. If you're Phoenix Rising, you take it and you make this set piece count.
Appears to be a break for Phoenix. Can Rising take advantage? Crutzen again. Service in. Look out. Undercut here. And it will be against the attacking Phoenix Rising. And you wonder if there's any more. Don't think so. Just a very dangerous looking challenge. And needing just a moment to recover. Looks like Ordonez. If you'd like, we can just listen all night. Some great work by our crew at Highmark Stadium. You heard it with all of us on what Pittsburgh is trying to accomplish and adjust here. A little more than 10 minutes until the break. 1-0 Riverhounds. Ordonez from Forbes. The only tally in this one and the only shot on target.
Just willing his side to be in more unison as that front four go together. That midfield line needs to follow. Too many times there's been gaps for Jose Hernandez and Carlos Harvey to get in between lines. Again, for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they want to stay together in terms of their pressing, but when they drop as well, keep everything compact. 35 minutes in, if you're Bob Lilly, you have to be very pleased with your performance.
Certainly the type of matchup Pittsburgh looking to play. Definitely a pace like this favors Riverhounds. Phoenix wants to go. We saw that in the second half with some adjustments. Could be a big takeaway here. Edward Kiza, and it's blocked away by Rios Novo with some help covering behind. I think it still would have went wide, but nearly 2-0.
Just sloppy in this back here from Lambert. Plays this ball into no man's land. You just see how opportunistic Kiza is. Elects to go for the chip up and over. Rios Novo just gets a hand on it.
Hernandez here, good ball through and waits aggressively off the line. Able to get to it before Arteaga could do some damage.
Just that high press from the Riverhounds once again almost pays off. Forcing this back three of the Phoenix Rising to beat him in terms of their passing range and their decisions.
Burke Failig here. Member of the league's team of the week 2 weeks ago in week 11. We're in week 13. We'll go around the rest of the league coming up at halftime. Much more news and notes, scores. All that coming up at the break, about 10 minutes or so. A little bit of first half stoppage time likely as well. A slight piece of it. Kiza there. Actually, Shawunmi had that noggin. His college days was a third-team All-American at the University of New Hampshire. Later a third-round pick by Atlanta in the MLS Super Draft. That was last season, 2022.
Can move the ball a bit quicker for Phoenix Rising. It's been too easy for this defensive structure for Bob Lilly, just moving from left to right. Really threat in behind once again. You see Danny Trejo, Manuel Arteaga just staying extremely high and coming to feet.
Rising player down on the far touch line, now back to his feet quite quickly. Danny Trejo. 4 goals, 1 assist this season. Crossbar last week. Really good combination play with Harvey a week ago. Harvey did have 1 long distance fire that was blocked earlier in this first half. Hernandez sending out wide. Lanjoma sent that service in, headed off in front of that 6-yard line. Perhaps one of the more purposeful stints of possession for Phoenix at this juncture.
You just see how deep the Riverhounds are sitting. All 11 within the defensive half, making life very difficult for Phoenix Rising. How many times have we seen that switch into Lambert or Crutzen?
Tough to penetrate and use those central channels for sure. Crutzen out wide left. Here in the 39th minute this evening. Appreciate you hanging with us. This one is through, headed towards Cage, and it's stopped by Waite. Not sure if the flag was coming up. Did not appear to.
But it's such a clever run from Arteaga. Everyone gets caught ball watching to break at the right time, and it's something that Phoenix Rising has been begging for. Someone to stretch the game, to play off the shoulder of the back line for the Riverhounds. Carlos Harvey, he's been at the thick of everything from a deep lying position. What a cheeky little header this is from Arteaga as Waite comes up. Fortunate enough for him, has the ability to recover. That's what Arteaga gives you, the ability just to create something out of nothing.
Waite able to control that over the shoulder catch. Don't see that type of a save from a keeper very often. Looked like a center fielder there. But able to secure it for sure. Keep it a 1-0 advantage for the home side. And a Pittsburgh team that has conceded the third fewest goals in the league at 11, as we mentioned earlier. Beginning a stretch of 3 games in 8 days. Open Cup quarterfinal on the road at FC Cincinnati Tuesday. Back home on Saturday next week against Charleston Battery. We will talk about coming up at halftime. A rather surprising result last night. Got to stay with us at half, though, to hear more about it. Long-range fire from Zambrano with some good action will result in a corner.
Just the intent there from Zambrano as he breaks that first pressure. No one steps out to close out the space. He hits it very well, to be fair. Give credit to, I think it was Hogan, that gets his head on it, puts it out for a corner kick.
Will be the second corner of this opening half. Crutzen and Hernandez, the two near it, as has been the case in attacking third set pieces this evening. And that is no surprise. Let's see who it is this time. This time, Hernandez in swinging ball right to Waite, who's able to control it and slow things down. Mike's Beer Bar isn't only the home to the famous Steak on a Stone, but is also the official watch party location of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Meet me at Mike's. .42nd minute, 1-0. Again, around the rest of the league scoreboard, news and notes, first half highlight stats, and much, much more coming up at halftime. Hope you'll stay with us for that and for the rest of this evening. Busy night across USL Championship East and West. Action will take us all the way to midnight locally, maybe even a little bit beyond. Just joining us, Ordonez for Pittsburgh in the 22nd minute. Off a set piece service from Forbes, the only goal. Phoenix has had a good 5 minutes or so trying to equalize. Still nothing on target for the visitors. 4 shots in total. Some failing off the near side.
Again, with all Riverhound Academy alumni, please meet at the locker room area. All Riverhound Academy alumni, please meet at the locker room area.
Here's Harvey with some space slotted in. Should get a whistle here. Yes, we will. And a great opportunity coming. And we'll get a yellow card as well.
And it comes with just pushing the tempo, playing between lines. Harvey's probably been the most active player on the ball for Phoenix Rising. We've seen him do with the ball at his feet, but also his passing range just around the corner. You just see Mike the Shielder just gets caught out. His foot in the cookie jar. There's no need to step there. There's a traffic full of Riverhound players. Zambrano beats him to it. Now, once again, the set piece, very important for Phoenix Rising.
Crafty feed in there, right in rhythm. First booking of the evening. DeShield's on the yellow. And now we'll stand centrally with a crowded wall. Crutzen and Hernandez. '44th minute, it will be Crutzen centrally right into the wall off of the central man of the 5, and it got the head of Shawunmi, and that will likely necessitate training staff evaluation for a head injury, and that's the indication of our referee for the evaluation here, I believe. So that will allow some hydration here. This will likely add on to stoppage time here as well in the first half. See everybody staying loose here. It is a humid night. Bob Lilly's crew up 1-0. Take another look here at this free kick.
Once again, he hits it so well. Like you said, Shawunmi goes down right at the initial action. Hopefully he's okay to keep on going. Good to see him walk on his own power. When you have from that distance to go up and over the wall, it's so hard. Sometimes you elect to go around the wall with the right footer. Fancy Arteaga's opportunity to go over the left shoulder. He was the last person on that Riverhounds wall.
So play was stopped there for the head injury. It did not ricochet out of bounds in any form. So the drop given back to Pittsburgh. 1 minute of first half stoppage time announced, but that might be more like 2 after what we just saw.
The fourth official.
See the 1 there, but we're already 30 seconds into it with that stoppage.
Of 1 minute.
Certainly likely to see some adjustments in the halftime locker room. These two managers can go a number of different ways. We'll see just what they're thinking, if there are any changes in personnel immediately or if that'll wait a bit. Still time though for perhaps one more rush for Phoenix. This is Lambert, who's worked his way to the far side. Mayor has slid over to the near side on this sequence. Combination looking for Harvey, but nothing doing. Pass behind and on-rushing Burke failing. Gives it back to Phoenix. And again, still time. Perhaps not much, though. And there is the final whistle of the first half of play here this evening at Highmark Stadium. So, Ricky, it was call it a methodical pace, if you will. Pittsburgh has the 1-0 lead at the break.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's been a chess match. But if you're Phoenix Rising, how do you pull out a player in the center of the park, whether it's Danny Griffin, Forbes, or Ibarra, because you had the most success with combination play. So you need to fix things going forward for Phoenix Rising and for Riverhounds defensively. Stay compact, keep everything in front of you. Going to be very interesting this next 45 minutes.
Ordonez, the goal scorer, as Pittsburgh leads it 1-0 at halftime. Our halftime coverage is right after this as you're tuned to USL Championship.
Cheer on the Riverhounds all season long at Mike's Beer Bar, Pittsburgh's home for local beer. With 21 TVs, over 300 local beers, and amazing food, Mike's is the place to be. Tell your friends to meet me at Mike's, Federal Street, right across from PNC Park.
Pittsburgh, stop breathing dirty air and contaminants trapped in your home's air ducts and dryer vents. Call Sears Air Duct and Carpet Cleaning or go to SearsClean.com. Our professionals will clean and disinfect your home's air ducts with powerful high-pressure vacuum equipment that cleans the air your family breathes. We love our pets, but their hair and dander get trapped in your air ducts and their odors in your carpets and on upholstery. Sears can clean it away. Call Sears Air Duct and Carpet Cleaning for a healthier home. Go to SearsClean.com.
Me, I enjoy spending time in the showroom. But some people, not so much. So we created a new way to buy a car. Now you can complete as much of the process as you'd like online and spend less time in store. Or do it all online and get home delivery. Sooner or later, someone was going to lead the way in online car buying. We chose Sooner. Expressway, only at Cochrane.com.
Halftime here at Highmark Stadium with the score, Pittsburgh 1 and Phoenix 0. The only goal in the opening half, Ordonez scoring in the 22nd minute on an assist from Forbes. Let's take a look at what's coming up next for both of these sides. Beginning with Pittsburgh, the schedule, well, frankly, Ricky, it's not an easy one. They've got some top opponents coming up, especially, well, all five, actually. All five of those opponents. I was going to say the top 3 or 4, but it's all 5.
And you throw in Open Cup with that as well. Charleston Battery, Oakland Roots, San Diego Loyal. Oakland Roots don't look now. 2 wins on the trot again, but you're going to Oakland. That's going to be very interesting. But the good thing for Bob Lilly, most of these games are going to be at Highmark. So what does this look like? And you want to pick up points at home. So it's a really important stretch of games for Bob Lilly's side. 5 out of 6 if you include tonight at home in USL Championship. Meanwhile, on the other side for Phoenix, also a very tough schedule in terms of the next 2 opponents. You've got Oakland and Louisville on the road. Memphis comes up in early July as well. But a Phoenix team that's looking to get back on track a little bit. And again, you're saying on the road again for Phoenix Rising, so it's going to be very interesting. We're Juan Garrett going on the road. How do you pick up points here and there? But it all comes down to stretching that performance over 90 minutes. And it starts here with this next 45 minutes against Bob Lilly's side. So it's going to be very interesting once again for Juan Garrett's side.
So the score after 45 minutes of play, it's 1-0 at halftime. We'll have more of our halftime activities when we come back right after this to Highmark Stadium.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
I can't wait to get to the Museum of Play. I will defeat the dreaded Donkey Kong, crush everyone in foosball, build an impenetrable dream house, explore the butterfly garden, mightily conquer the dance lab, and when all are vanquished, You know, I'd really like to see the Fairy Tale Forest puppet show, because it's kind of my jam. To the museum!
With so much to do and see, everyone loves the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York.
Halftime here in Pittsburgh. Riverhounds up on Phoenix Rising 1-0 at the break, with the first half tally coming from Arturo Ordonez in this USL Championship matchup. As we take a look at what's happening around the rest of the league, about a third of the way through the schedule. Pride Month in June, USL launching that partnership with You Can Play in honor of Pride Month. You can see USLChampionship.com news for more information. Had this news for a week or two now. Indy 11, a 20,000-seat stadium coming. That will just do amazing things for this league.
That's going to be massive for Mark Lowry and Indy 11, talking about off the heels of a terrific result at Charleston Battery, and then you go down USL and US Open Cup. The Riverhounds going to TQL Stadium, so what does that look like for FC Cincinnati? Can't put a foot wrong at the moment, but Birmingham, they're hosting a very different look Inter Miami, and then personally, I think that's going to be a cup set. It's playing at Protective Stadium. That's going to be an interesting one for Tommy Sohn's side.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard. We talked a little bit about this in the midst of the first half. That final result from yesterday, Indy 11 over Charleston, 4-0 at Charleston. Charleston took a red card in the opening minute, and that's how you get a 4-0 result.
Yeah, that's not the best start for Ben Pyramid's side, and Leland Archer needs to be better in his decision makings. But then you go Oakland Roots, going to Colorado Springs. That was a very interesting game. Johnny Rodriguez gets a terrific goal there, but then 30 minutes in, Tampa Bay at Al Lang hosting Sacramento Republic. Hartford tied 0-0, Lou City, and then Miami's going to Memphis 9-1, who is red hot at the moment as well.
The only game with a goal that's currently in progress is ours. We'll keep you posted on those later. This is what's coming up later on this evening. New Mexico and El Paso. That should be a good one. San Antonio, San Diego. And then out west, Monterey Bay, Loudoun, Orange County, Rio Grande, RGV. It's a loaded night.
Yeah, my eyes go to San Antonio hosting the Loyal. What does this look like for the San Diego Loyal side off the heels off a loss to the Oakland Roots? So it's going to be interesting. Competitive games all over USL Championship tonight.
Our matchup, 45 minutes in the books. Pittsburgh over Phoenix 1-0. Look at that sunset here that we are witnessing here at Highmark Stadium. We'll take a break, and we'll have the second half coming up in just a little bit.
Ain't no better feeling than a cold one in my hand. Well, that's why I'll be keeping Iron City in my plans. Oh, everywhere I roam, I'll be thinking about my home. Sitting pouring on the iron right before I go to rest. And when I'm laying in my bed, there's only one thing in my head. Just an ice cold can of Pittsburgh, PA's best.
It's Pride Night, Saturday, June 3rd at Highmark Stadium in Station Square. Join us for our first dollar beer night of the season, a halftime performance by Ex-Pogo, and professional soccer as the Pittsburgh Riverhounds host Phoenix. Enjoy live music and food and drink specials in the tailgate zone before the game.
Blackstock gets this in the middle, flicked along and in! And who else but Albert Dequan?
Tickets as low as $18. Get yours today at riverhounds.com/tickets.
Let's go, come on. I love a new color and a new game. I like to switch it up, wherever my mood takes me. I'm always just doing me. And today, I'm me loving the PA Lottery. The games have become a part of me. They make me happy. They get me excited. And when I want to try something new, I'll just go to another, and then another, and another.
There's a lot of love for the Pennsylvania Lottery. And when you see how fun it is, you'll understand why.
Houston, the Eagle has landed. That's one small step for man, one giant.
Think the moon landing was a big deal?
Holy Toledo.
Hold on to your oxygen tank. Because now when you switch to Xfinity Internet, you get one line of unlimited mobile and Wi-Fi equipment free for 2 years. It's all included for $50 a month with a 2-year price guarantee and no annual contract. Don't wait. Get it all with Xfinity.
Getting set for the second half here in the Steel City. Nice night, and the Riverhounds and the home faithful have the 1-0 lead at the break over visiting Western Conference foe Phoenix Rising FC. Let's take a look at how we've gotten to this point so far. 45 minutes in, and It was, let's call it a slow start, Ricky. Let's just call it that way to keep it nice.
Yeah, very methodical. The game seemed like it was stuck in first gear. So if you're asking Juan Garrett and Bob Lilly, how do you get out of that? That was going to be in set pieces were a brilliant opportunity. Bernardo Forbes always going to provide quality. Great ball in, and then Ordonez just rises up like a salmon and just heads this thing to the back of the net. Rios Novo can't even do anything, but it's all about individual, beating your individual. Mark off the shoulder of Fuenmayor, right in front of Lambert, and off to the corner to celebrate for Ordonez.
Well, salmon sales just went up in Pittsburgh. Ricky, our thanks to you. On the other side, good opportunity for Crutzen here, just missed off the near side.
And again, set pieces were so important for both sides. Testing the goalkeeper, Crutzen hits it well, just a bit more bend on it, just pulls it a bit wide.
A lot of these highlights are going to be possession areas in the middle and then some transition opportunities, and this nearly was 2-0, and Rios Novo up to the task to deny Edward Kizza.
Yeah, big uh-oh moment here from Lambert, but if you're Kizza, plethora of opportunities, whether you go around Rios Novo, you elect to go up and over him, but Rios Novo gets a hand on it, and this is a brilliant opportunity here. Arteaga, the ability to break the lines with his running, something that Juan Garrett's been barking at his boys to do all first half. Just stretch the game. Arteaga, eyes behind his back of his head, tries to catch out weight, but the goalkeeper recovers, and that's how we walk into halftime 1-0 for Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
So slow start in the first 20 minutes or so, but really opened up. All those highlights were after the 20th minute. Shots 6-4. Phoenix has the edge in terms of the final, and the shots on target 2-1 in favor of Pittsburgh. Dominant possession. That's no surprise, though, with Phoenix at 61-39 in the first 45 minutes.
But what do you do with that possession? That's what Juan Garrett's going to look at, the possession with purpose, whether it's playing through the lines. So how do you pull out a player in the center of the park, whether it's Danny Griffin, Ibar, to jump off the line, to have the combination plays, and for Phoenix Rising, get more players involved. Pittsburgh Riverhounds stay compact and try to catch Phoenix Rising in transition moments. You need to find the feet of Shawonmi a bit more. Kizza, get those players involved in that final third, and that's how you can get your second goal, and that's so important for Bob Lilly. The ability to close out games, talking about Loudoun United. You have opportunity after opportunity, but you give the opposing hope when you don't shut the door. So that's going to be a big challenge for the home side here tonight.
Wrapping the first half, Phoenix not scoring a goal in the first 45 minutes for the 9th time this season. This is the 12th matchup, and that is the largest number of scoreless first halves amongst any of the 24 clubs in USL Championship. On the other side, Pittsburgh unbeaten in its last 5 matches when leading at half. 2 wins, 3 draws. That goes back all the way to last year. So this is just the 5th halftime lead for Pittsburgh since September 15th of a season ago. And that was a 2-1 loss to Birmingham last season. Both teams breaking out. In fact, Phoenix is already set to go. And Pittsburgh with their final communications in the huddle here at Highmark Stadium. Once again, it was a 22nd minute goal for Arturo Ordonez from Kenardo Forbes on the assist. And we can have some changes here, it looks like, as we will see Trevor Zvetslut come on with the Shields. Those two played together actually in New England Revolution 2 a season ago. So we will see Zwetsloot on for Pittsburgh. And that procedure is adjusted, and it looks like we are just about set to go. Multiple watches, including an Apple Watch for our referee. Looked like there, Juan Guerra. I don't think I've ever seen that, actually, at least where cameras have captured it. He's probably achieved his move goal already. Second half underway. Thanks for joining us with Ricky Lopez-Espin, the rest of our fantastic team. I'm Drew Casey, and there is that sub shown to everybody. And that sub on the Pittsburgh side as well. So Shawonmi is out, and Nathan Dos Santos is in as well. So it's a pair of changes. Dos Santos and Zvetslut have come on for Pittsburgh. Zwetsloot, 328 minutes. This is 10th appearance of the season. Dos Santos, we mentioned it, almost 1,000 minutes.
It's a different look now for the Riverhounds. Kizza's going to stay high, and he's going to be the one spearheading the attack for the home side. Dos Santos is going to play as a left wing back. Zwetsloot is going to sit right next to Danny Griffin in the center of the park. So that gives a freedom for Kenardo Forbes to join the attack as he sees fit, a bit more to go forward. We'll talk about the ability to rotate squads, the talent never drops for Bob Lilly's side.
Certainly helps to rotate squads with a 1-0 lead as well, with Dos Santos and Svetslut coming on here. There is a whistle here. Hernandez there. Phoenix in the white uniforms here, the visitors. Pittsburgh, the home squad, in the black and gold, the customary colors of the Steel City. Looking for some space. Speaking of Forbes, looking to track it down. It's Edward Kizza there. Zambrano had it sliced away. It will be a toss-in coming for Phoenix. Official halftime numbers, if you weren't with us, Phoenix doubled up the shot totals officially as they've been updated. 6-3 Phoenix in the opening 45 minutes, but on target, 2-1 in favor of Pittsburgh, including the match's only goal so far.
How quickly do the Riverhounds just shift into a 5-3-2 into defensive structure? You have Ibarra push a bit higher with Kizza, same as Bernardo Forbes, and then you drop in Dos Santos, and you drop in to make that back line of 5. It's so hard to break down. So again, if you're Phoenix Rising, you need to move the ball very fast and be very clean in your passing, but also your decision making to pull players out of position.
You may have just seen Danny Trejo, very bottom of your screen, disappearing off it, trying to sneak in behind, going the other direction as this is cleared away by Phoenix keeper Rocco Rios Novo. Expected goals in the first half, 0.43 to 0.23 for Pittsburgh. Home faithful with a 1-0 lead enjoying here this evening. A little after 8 Eastern time at Highmark Stadium in USL Championship. Over the top, but nobody home. And Rios Novo is there. He's played every minute in the Phoenix cage this year between the sticks. 39 saves. Second most entering this weekend of play in the entire league. Had a save percentage at 74%. That's 6th highest in the league. It might change though with the 1 goal allowed. Stalking for another, Riverhounds. Looking for something. We've got a whistle and it's a goal kick. Nothing more.
We just see how quickly the Riverhounds can turn their defensive efforts into attacking opportunities. Danny Trejo doesn't look over his shoulder. Silly mishap in the middle of the park. And it's Danny Griffin arguing for a corner kick. The ability to break very fast for the Riverhounds has been key in terms of their success.
Midfield takeaway by Zambrano, and now works it on back to his 20-year-old goalkeeper. He's also on the USL Team of the Week back in week 7. We're in week 13 here on this Saturday night, June the 3rd. Trejo moved his arm from Blackstock there, and smartly so. Could have resulted in a foul or more.
And just a bit sloppy from the visitors, unable to connect passes. On one end, not enough movement to create angles to play through. It's to be expected from a Bob Lilly side, defensively sound, frustrating the opposition to force turnovers. So again, 5 minutes in, Bob Lilly needs to be very pleased with the way that his boys have set up defensively and how stout they've been.
Once again, if you're just joining us, took a little bit of a longer halftime than the rest of us. 2 changes to remind you of on the Pittsburgh side. They came on at the beginning of the half. Zwetslut on, replacing Failing, and Dos Santos on, replacing Shawunmi. No changes for Phoenix. Still wondering if we might see Panos Armanakis, newcomer to Phoenix, transferred from Loudoun United, announced yesterday. Available here this evening with his new side.
I think if we hit the 70th minute mark with the same scoreline, the same lack of productivity going forward for Phoenix Rising, Longard needs to dip into his bench. A player like Panos, like you just mentioned, Drew, comes right to mind.
Juan Guerra not pleased there. Thought it was either out or perhaps it came up high on the hand of Blackstock. Play continues. And possession does. Assistant referee on the near side, only to midfield and to the left with his second half assignment. 52nd minute strike here. That's blocked away. Ardo Forbes looking to add a goal with the assist he has. Had that shot.
Yep, all right, everyone just keep shooting like you're live. Everyone stay live. No quick movements. Taylor, you're probably the most important right now. Jake, get us fucking connected, dude.
One 0 score here. Pittsburgh scoring in the 22nd minute. Arturo Ordonez, look out. Might have left the yard.
They can't hear it, they can see it.
Just one yellow card has been handed out by a referee, Elton Garcia, this evening. That was back in the first half to Mike DeShields. This shot comes in and it's stopped. Oh, big time opportunity for Phoenix. Nearly made it 1-1. Not much there, but it only took one step and one touch from Eddie Munjoma to nearly level the score at 1. Catches a piece of the head of Langston Blackstock. Play will continue. Munjoma will toss in. Phoenix looking to equalize this one. Back out to Harvey. Right-footed service is in, and it's allowed to go wide by Waite, who will have the restart with the goal kick.
And it's a brilliant first touch here from Munjoma. He sends the shield packing and test into the interior. You see it's a lot of movement. Molly Waite takes no opportunity, just punches it away. But it's that first touch to beat his defender. That's so exquisite from Eddie Munjoma.
Good opportunities building for Phoenix. At one of the best, if not the best opportunity. Remember the set piece opportunity from the first half from Daniel Crutzen. Riverhounds would love a second. Here's Danny Griffin, slotted in, looking for some space to operate Edward Kizza. This will be a throw-in near the corner flag.
Needs to be better body language there from Danny Trejo. He turns the ball over and just walks over. Next 10 seconds, that gives the freedom for Danny Griffin to come in between lines, play into Edward Kizza. So again, how quickly can you recover the ball once you cough it up?
Zwetsloot there is fouled, the second half newcomer. Subbed it at the break, and it will be a free kick opportunity for Riverhounds in a dangerous area on the way.
Just seems to want it a bit more, the Riverhounds. First to every 50-50 ball, first to every second ball. Now, the Virginado Forbes, plethora of options here. You're aiming for right on top that 6-yard box towards that back post. Again, to create havoc and chaos within this back line for Phoenix Rising.
Forbes has Danny Griffin short to his right. No whistle for the ready for play. It must have been given, as this one is now sent in by Blackstock. Just didn't hear the whistle from our referee, and it's sent wide and high over everything. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home of the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Phoenix looking to equalize. This one gets a piece of that corner flag marker. And it was last touched by the attacking side, so it will be a goal kick for Pittsburgh.
Stick around and meet the team. It's presented by King Orthodontics, Pittsburgh's most confident smiles. With locations in Wexford and Bridgeville. Visit them at
One block shot for Pittsburgh. Forbes firing it. Before it was Manjoma. The best chance of the second half, but that's been it. So far in the second frame, we're in the 57th minute. With Ricky Lopez-Espin, the rest of our team. I'm Drew Casey. Thanks for joining us tonight at Highmark for this East v West. Phoenix pressured back here deep in their own third. Possession-oriented team. Exact opposite of what Pittsburgh tends to do in that department, at least. Strong breakout and a connection of 8 to 12 passes. Road does not get any easier coming up for either of these teams. Shot fired and blocked from Arteaga. Trying to get back on top of it. Can Arteaga find a way? Will we see Jai off the bench, who really made a difference in what Phoenix was trying to do in the attack last week? Lots of questions to be answered for the Phoenix side.
And just watching the movement of Jose Hernandez between the midfield line and in front of that back line for the Riverhounds. So how can you find him to create overloads, get him facing forward? Great run.
Manjoma sent it in, lost his footing on this turf facility. He's probably been the most effective in attacking areas for Phoenix in this one. He's a little hobbled to get up. You see him in the center of your screen in the bright orange cleats. Now he's going to join behind this service down in the box, but there's nothing there. Hernandez.
Look at the goal here. Bernardo Forbes. Ordonez just rises up. You just see the confusion between Fuenmayor and Lambert. Are you going to get it? Am I going to get it? No one gets it. The only player that does is Ordonez, and that's how Riverhounds get their lead.
That is the story. More than a half hour ago of game time. It was in the 22nd minute. Best action here in the second half in terms of a strike and a score was Manjoma for Phoenix in the 53rd minute.
In the quarterfinal of the US Open Cup.
And announcing it over the public address system, the US Open Cup for Pittsburgh. And what will be the quarterfinal coming up on Tuesday in Cincinnati. Great opportunity for Pittsburgh and for USL as well.
Well, you can ask for an opportunity. You hosted last week MLS opposition. You went to New England Revolution. Watch out here.
Opportunity punched away. There's a whistle before that action, and it may result, and it will result, in a Phoenix free kick opportunity from about 25 out.
And it just comes with team playing through the lines once again. Try to taking out one of the Riverhounds midfield three, whether it is Danny Griffin, Ibarra, or Bernardo Forbes. If you can get in behind them, you're going to have a numerical advantage and force the issue. Then a center back needs to step off his line, and that's when you start to see the pressure against the Riverhounds. Brilliant opportunity from about 20, 25 yards out for Phoenix Rising to test Jamali Waite.
We've passed the 1 hour mark. Juan Guerra looking for consistency in his bunch. We've seen a consistent 7 to 10 minutes over the course of the early stages of the second half. Manuel Arteaga lining it up straight on. Crutzen is there too on the high side. It will be Arteaga into the wall. Back to Crutzen, who floats. Near post, finds a head. It connects, back post battle. It's kept out momentarily. Keeper back in position, and a goal kick coming. Scramble mouth, and Phoenix nearly leveled it.
This time it's Arteaga that likes to go for it. Hits straight into the wall, but it's a second phase. It's always a nightmare for back lines. As Jamali Waite comes off his line, gets caught in no man's land. But it's that man once again, Ordonez, winning his individual battle If you're Jamali Waite and you come off your line, you have to be certain that you're going to make any sort of play on this ball. Give credit to Lambert, beats a goalkeeper, and then it's nervy moments for the Riverhounds. Fortunate enough, it goes off of Arteaga. You start to feel Phoenix Rising coming alive, especially in that final third, to the last 10 minutes or so.
Trejo there at the back post, trying to find a way to equalize, but could not. Ordonez a goal, and now a goal saved. Looked like some contact there above the shoulders. If so, that's going to be a card, and it's outside of the area, and there is that yellow card as Phoenix continues to keep the gas on.
But it comes with the willingness from Jose Hernandez to run in behind. Stretch the game out as he gets there right before Ordonez. You just see him hops right before, missed time from the center back. But now if you're the Riverhounds, 2 out of your 3 center backs on a yellow card. Mike DeShields, Arturo Ordonez now. And once again, brilliant opportunity for Phoenix Rising.
So Phoenix keeping the pressure on. The only goal of the match was scored on this half of the field on a set piece on the near side. This the far side, river side of Highmark. As Hernandez lines it up. Crutzen there too. Crutzen towards goal, headed off the 6-yard line, and an emphatic celebration as it was knocked off immediately. Even Ordonez again.
And those are always so tricky for a goalkeeper. You want to aim for right around that back post. If no one touches it, it squeaks in. A lot of traffic in front of Jamali Waite. The Riverhounds have been very good at set pieces defensively and offensively.
Sounds like Phoenix Rising head coach Juan Guerra with some words of encouragement from the sideline. His squad has had the better of it in the second, chasing a 1-0 deficit.
Come out to support our community heroes at Highmark Stadium and the Hounds take on Charleston on June 10th. For tickets online at riverhounds.com/tickets.
Taken here by Pittsburgh, looking for Forbes, who has the assists. The assist tonight and the assists throughout his career, nearly 60 now. Mike's Beer Bar is the official watch party location of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. Meet me at Mike's. Manjoma here in an offensive third throw. We've looked to our left quite a bit here in this second half. We're in the 65th minute, more than 2/3 complete of regulation time. Minimal stoppages here in the second. Plenty of action. When does Phoenix perhaps make a change? Some milling around. Looks like we're going to get one very shortly, and actually it's going to happen right here. It will be a pair of changes as we see Gallardo and Varela. It was by Fede. So first it will be Erickson Gallardo making his return from injury. Great to see for Phoenix Rising and the faithful, looking to make an immediate impact. Saw Hernandez coming off.
And a different look going forward now for Phoenix Rising. Gallardo, very good 1v1, very slippery, and likes to isolate his defender. And Fede Varela likes to play in between the holes. So look for his movement, to look for him to combine with Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga. The substitutions tell you that Juan Guerra does believe that there is a goal to be taken for his side.
Varela had a great chance last week against Vegas in the 24th minute. His initial shot was blocked, and then a follow-up try from just outside the 6. Fantastic save by Leo Diaz of Vegas. Probably best opportunity for Phoenix outside of a couple of crossbars. Have to be careful, though, if you're Phoenix on the defensive side. Pittsburgh, the most comfortable team, arguably without the ball, doesn't take much. The possession numbers in the second are handedly in the decision of Phoenix, but again, just takes one for a Pittsburgh 2-goal lead.
Then you have to have the balance now of your Phoenix Rising. Yes, you want to commit numbers forward. Yes, you want to provide the width and verticality in the way that you play, but you have to always have a +1 going back the other way. You talked about how comfortable the Riverhounds can be, being uncomfortable, leaving some of the pressure. So Kizza, Blackstock on the front line for Bob Lilly's side. Look out for them in transition moments.
Once again, those changes in the 66th minute. Hernandez and King off. Gallardo and Varela on for Phoenix. The first 2 changes. Both teams have made 2 changes so far in this one. Pittsburgh making a pair at halftime, with Zwetsloot and Dos Santos coming on for Shawunmi and Failing. Attacking third throw coming for Danny Trejo, 24-year-old from California, previously with LAFC. It's moved by Varela with the fresh legs. This is Varela. That one is behind Trejo and out, headed back to Pittsburgh.
Just a little bit of a glimpse of how creative Varela can be with the ball at his feet. He's a player that you want to get going. You want to get him in terms of productivity, goals, and assists. Something that Juan Guerra speaks so highly about, the ability to create something out of nothing. He is the true out playmaker. And once again, if you're Bob Lilly, how good defensively you've been. 69 minutes in, no really clear-cut opportunity given to this explosive attacking side for the Rising. Hats off to Ordonez, Hogan, and the Shields. Very good in their shape, communication, passing players off, and all of that front line as well, staying together, moving it as a defensive block and being very stubborn.
If you include the Open Cup win in the round of 16 for Pittsburgh over Columbus back on the 24th of May. Approaching nearly 3 full games of scorelessness on the defensive end without conceding. That might change here. Oh, what a stop. Best stop of the night for Pittsburgh and wait. And robbed of an equalizer, Phoenix Rising.
And it just comes with a continuation of the run here from Carlos Harvey. It's a sloppy touch in the end. This ball falls so nicely to Majoma. You see what he tries to do, open up his hips. He doesn't need to hit it too hard. He gets momentum using it against it, just guide it into that far post. Jamali Wade has different ideas. What a fantastic save that is. The power step to his left-hand side with the big arm to parry it away.
Manjoma immediately, you may have seen it before we went to the replay, made the indication of substitution. Perhaps he will not be able to continue. You see him shaking his head there. And we'll see. It looks like there will be a change made. And see some of what might occur. Want to watch the action from on the field here at Highmark Stadium? If so, make sure to call 412-865-GOAL to reserve the IC Light Corner Kick Suite today. This was after the shot was followed, and then that slight stretch, and right away made that signal. So there you see the change. It will be Manjoma exiting here in the 71st minute, and Babukar Jai is going to come on. I think likely we would have seen Jai as quickly the corner is in and stopped by Wade. Not sure it would have been for Manjoma though.
And he can be a difference maker for this Rising side. We talked about his insertion against Las Vegas last time out for the Rising. It was just terrific, making players miss 1v1. Once again, how quickly can he get up to speed here? Connect your first pass and when you start to get into rhythm, when you start to get better in your decision making, that's when you start to express yourself and can take chances, especially in that final third. So he's going to provide the width, and he's going to ask a lot of questions of Blackstock and the Shields on this near side for Riverhounds.
Especially with the Shields on the yellow. So to Ordonez. 2 yellows in the batch, both to Pittsburgh defenders. See if they might be in the cards for a substitution. To make things settle a little bit. Strong collision at midfield. Play on, Pittsburgh. Sent out wide. There was a defensive touch. Blackstock, though, has it. Looking for left-footed space. Service. It's a good ball. Loose. Second ball cleared. But follow up by Zwetsloot. And now we'll finally get a whistle. And more than that, a card. Third yellow. All shown to members of Pittsburgh. This time it's Danny Griffin.
Comes off the heels of a very bad decision to turn into pressure from Zambrano. And it's the second phase that Danny Griffin tries to get a bite at the apple. Comes in through the backside of a Phoenix Rising player. Really interesting. He steps up. He gets on the backside of Varela there. Late challenge right in front of the referee.
And you saw Elton Garcia indicating that he will not take any more of a conversation from Danny Griffin going forward. So it's now again Griffin, Ordonez, and DeShields, all with yellows for Pittsburgh, all remaining in the match to this point. Griffin, first yellow card of the season. Ordonez is third. 1-on-4. Phoenix looking for help, crosses through. Looking for Arteaga. Long distance, blocked. Arteaga, though, loose ball. He goes down, maybe trying to draw something, but nothing there. '74th minute, a tumble. Whistle sounds just to indicate the throw-in. To back things up, Danny Trejo. In the second half, the shots are 4-2 in favor of Phoenix Rising. And on frame, 2-0 in favor of Phoenix in the second. Good combination. Looking for Harvey after the initial service.
There needs to be a secondary action. Someone crashing that far post. Just taking the initiative and being and anticipating. Get yourself in a dangerous area. Brilliant little flick on from Danny Trejo, but just no one on the back end of it. That's been the story. 75 minutes in for Phoenix Rising.
13 and 8 are coming in.
This one sent out over the near touchline. And we'll get a couple of changes for Pittsburgh. Luke Piazzi coming on for Danny Griffin, so that will replace one of the 3 yellow cards on the field for Pittsburgh. And Junior Etu will come on as well. Like the board had Griffin up there twice. Blackstock, the second player who comes off for Pittsburgh. Griffin and Blackstock coming off. And it is Junior Etu and Luke Piazzi coming on. Expected to see Piazzi at some point. Pittsburgh would love to make it 2-0. Sent out wide. And it will go back the other way.
Now you're looking at Pittsburgh Riverhounds shift into a back four. Biasi's going to play at the right back. Mike DeShields next to Ordonez and Patrick Hogan as at left back. A bit more defensive minded for Bob Lilly's side. Junior Etsu staying in the middle of the park. Not Danny Griffin, Bernardo Forbes, and Ibarra. Dos Santos and Sweatsloot staying high and wide. And then you have Kiza spearheading the attack.
League sellout. Again, the attendance is 5,011. That is our 4th consecutive league sellout. Thank you for your attendance.
Official attendance just announced inside Highmark Stadium, 5,011. It's another sellout in USL Championship action for Pittsburgh this evening. Phoenix looking to equalize, trying to get on the front foot. That was Jai on the near side who had it just behind him and couldn't heel to control. Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.selectsportamerica.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Into the 78th minute. Perhaps more adjustments on the way. Some milling around on the sideline for the 24-year-old who will wear number 21 for Phoenix, Panos Armanakis. Looks like he will be the next man in. Will it be at 1-0 down or perhaps level already? Deflects out. It cannot be kept. It will be a corner.
Since Varela coming in, he's been very active for Phoenix Rising. Playing in between the lines. And just that final action that's been lacking for the visitors. Well, that's the ball across the box, beating out that first initial defender. Or someone just pulling the trigger.
So it's going to be Varela. Right-footed service towards the top of the 6. Skying over everybody was Mike DeShields. Right back to it, though, for Phoenix. And on in. Got a piece defensively of Ordonez. And another corner.
And he's been terrific, Ordonez. Winning everything in the air, his spacing, his leadership. Also the ability to pass out of tight situations. It's a big part of what Bob Lilly likes to do on the defensive side of the game.
Fede again, Varela. Loose. Second ball. That's high. Sweet level. Difficult to get on top of, and we'll get that change now for Phoenix. Panos Armanakis coming on, replacing Manuel Arteaga. And it will be here in the 80th minute. 48 hours ago, Armanakis officially was a member of Loudoun United. 1 goal, 1 assist. 20 chances created, which is top 10 in the league. It was announced yesterday his transfer from Loudoun. Also a Team of the Week player in week 7 with Loudoun and now with Phoenix. And an opportunity here, as we suspected, maybe 80th minute or so. And that's exactly what happens.
And it's a different profile, Armanakis, than Arteaga. Armanakis wants the ball at his feet. He wants to get on the half turn and he wants to combine with players around him. Talked about his productivity. That was in question at Loudoun United, but never in talent. 1 goal, 1 assist on the year. So you're going to see him ask questions and play in between lines, try to connect. Danny Trejo's going to stay as a high man and let Armanakis roam as he sees fit into that final third.
Etsu with the initial clearance. Now Mark Ibarra. Across the midway line, Edward Kiza working on with Etsu again. Etsu coming on as a second half substitute, 28-year-old from the Republic of Congo. Previous league experience with Tampa Bay. Less than 10 minutes until we get to stoppage time, which probably in the medium range at this point. 3-4-ish. Ibarra. Too much on that for Forbes. Almost a follow-up kept.
Been mostly defense here for the Riverhounds in the second half. It's so good and so compact and frustrating, but when they go forward, they need a focal point, and that's not a good sign. Your focal point goes down. Kiza, non-contact, maybe it's cramping. He's worked so hard.
Phoenix contending that the whistle should not have been blown. Thought they had some open space off the left channel, but it was quite deep in their own end. Referee Elton Garcia stopping for the man down for Pittsburgh.
There's 9+ minutes left here, Drew. And for Phoenix Rising, it's very interesting as Panos Armanakis comes in. Yes, you're down 1-0, but it's an opportunity for the young man to make his stake inside this 18-yard, inside the 18 roster. When players look around, who do I lean onto in terms of leadership? Who do I lean onto to someone to produce a little bit of magic and to win that locker room, win the respect within his teammates? That's never easy coming in a third of the season. You don't understand the tendencies. You're not very comfortable. You don't really know your place in terms of the hierarchy and leadership and who gets a nod and so forth. So again, if you're a newcomer, brilliant opportunity to make your stake here within your new team.
So you see Kiza there spraying a bunch of the water bottle on his face. We mentioned the humidity nearly 70%. The temperature's actually increased 5 degrees since we started, which is a little unusual given that the sun is of course setting. We're at 82 now, started at 77. Still plenty of time for Phoenix. 7 plus stoppage time. All served in. Ball served in and wide. The faithful here in Pittsburgh starting to crank a little bit towards that full smile, I'd say, but still plenty of time left before what the supporters hope is a 3-point night, and then I think immediately Tuesday will be on the mind at the US Open Cup. Round of 8, the quarterfinal, on the road at FC Cincinnati on Tuesday evening. One of 2 USL Championship sides remaining. It's 6 MLS sides and 2 USL sides. Birmingham hosting Miami, that's Wednesday. I should say Birmingham hosting Inter Miami of MLS coming up on Wednesday.
Just see how many black shirts are able to just surround a Phoenix Rising player. Force turnovers, ability to smother and just trap and force players down into a trafficked area. So good from Balboli's side.
Hernandez, Arteaga, and Manjoma. Manjoma with injury, all have come off. Contact here, and it will be a foul 1. At Pittsburgh, an opportunity in a dangerous area. Heady play by Mark Ibarra to draw it.
And it's clever from Ibarra as well. He sees the contact is coming. He knows the ball's coming to the interior. Let me just get in front of Carlos Harvey. Great ball in from Etsu. And you want to play centrally because that's where the space is. Little dip with the shoulder right in front of that movement of the player. He's always going to go down and invite the contact and bleed the clock a little bit more. And now it's a brilliant opportunity as Coronado Forbes steps over this ball.
Already 1 assist off set piece for Forbes, who now has 59 assists in his USL Championship career. This could be a round number alert, 60. If someone else scores it, great opportunity to tally himself as well. And the clock continues to wind. There is a Phoenix player setting up, laying on the ground behind the wall. As this one is sent wide, good combination, Zwetsloot. Sent it high and wide. And we will get a change on the Pittsburgh side. Edward Kiza will come off, and Robbie Mertz coming on here in the 86th minute.
Solid shift there for Edward Kiza. Working so hard, just battling with his back line of Phoenix Rising. He's been to play a big part Once the week comes, U.S. Open Cup, him and Albert Dequa, the relationship that they've made over the course of this season. Bringing Robbie Mertz, we're talking about talent at your disposal from Bob Lilly.
Again, no Dequa on the active roster of 18 tonight, but was training with Pittsburgh earlier in the week, Thursday and yesterday, hoping to be available for the Open Cup on Tuesday. Forbes opts to dish off. It was 2-3 on 5 or 6 with the way the numbers set. All the way back towards cage. Jamali Waite's been solid in this one, looking for a 6th clean sheet in total amongst all competitions this season. The shots in the second half are 7-3 in favor of Phoenix, and for the match, 13-6 in total. On target, it's 4-2, Phoenix Rising.
Just not on the same page going forward for Phoenix Rising. Danny Trejo elects to drop in and tries to play this ball to feet. Carlos Harvey thinks he's spinning in behind. That's been the story 88 minutes in for Juan Garricide in that final third, doing very well getting into that location of the field, lacking in decision making. How clean can they be? We'll talk about Bob Lilly's side, the fluidity, the rotation, and players to play different roles as well. Such high IQ players that he has on his roster. Now we're seeing Cornado Forbes plays a false 9. Ibarra push up on that high line, who is usually a single pivot that sits deep in the midfield.
Is there a moment of brilliance for Phoenix within the final 2 in stoppage? Or will it be a trip back home nearly all the way across the country tomorrow morning, having suffered a 2nd consecutive loss?
Once again, Drew, you just see everyone wants the ball to feet. Everything's in front of this Riverhounds back line. No one getting in behind, and that's the best action for Phoenix Rising. And now the frustration comes out when Mayor steps off his line. And that's who's been terrific since coming on. Draws the foul and bleeds a clock, which are the best friends of the home sider at the moment.
We'll see that stoppage time number in just a few moments, but if Pittsburgh is able to hold here, 3 points, 23 in the table, would move in to 2nd position, and it could be solo 2nd pending results elsewhere. Entering play tonight, Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Louisville all tied with 20. 2nd highest total behind Charleston Battery, who sits at 24 after losing last night. The sun has set here in the Steel City. Seconds remain until we learn about stoppage time. Takeaway here. 2nd goal would shortly end it. Biazzi tripped up. Play continues. Pittsburgh player down centrally. Now back to his feet. It was Junior Etu. Has already missed significant time this year with injury. Missed 6 weeks with a broken arm. 4 minutes. 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes.
Phoenix has controlled the possession exceptionally in the 2nd. Again, that's to be expected. Looking for a moment. Trejo. Ball just dropped in. Did not expect it to get through the defender. Would have been an onside play. Could be tracked down on the far side. It cannot by Kevin Lambert. At least 3 more of stoppage time Pittsburgh looking for its 4th consecutive league victory and 6th consecutive across all competitions. And looking to stay unbeaten at home. 3-0-1 here at Highmark in league matches thus far in 2023. Combination through the middle. Armanakos, we have not called his name since he came on. 21 in white. Centrally of your screen, approaching the spot as the right-footed service is in. Little Strong catches the noggin of Jai, who's also been quiet. Winding, firing, blocked. Zwetsloot had his hands behind his body and now goes down with an apparent head injury. Now play continues. And the referee does not stop play, did not think it hit the head, perhaps. And this is out for what will be a goal kick. Bit of a frantic sequence there.
Just committing a lot of numbers forward for Phoenix Rising. As this ball pops out, Gallardo gets a hold of it. Hits Zwetsloot. Looks like in that neck area. And the second phase, this man, Carlos Harvey, just lacking that final touch, that finishing product. Getting himself and his teammates in very good areas of the field. How clinical can you be in both boxes? And that's something that both of these coaches stress about week in and week out. Watch out here.
Looking to get through, player taken down. There is no whistle. Robbie Mertz was held up, but ruled to have been held up cleanly. Defended by Fuenmayor. The USL on ESPN continues as the summer heats up. Memphis 901 FC and Aaron Malloy head to the Valley of the Sun to face Manuel Arteaga and Phoenix Rising FC. It's Phoenix Rising FC and Memphis 901 FC Saturday, July 1st, 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Dying moments here. And is ruled to have gone out. Quick restart for Phoenix, as you would suspect.
You just hear Bob Lilly willing his boys, saying nothing through the middle, clogged the center channel, forced him to play direct, come around from us. But again, you just see the lack of ideas for Phoenix Rising once they get into that final third. No one breaking that line, no combination players, no players on that front line working together. Pull up center back out to create space for their teammate. And it takes nothing away from the defensive structure and defensive game plan on the Riverhounds, making life very difficult for the visitors, and so far and executed to almost perfection.
And there is the final whistle. That will do it as Pittsburgh victorious 1-0 past Phoenix Rising. For the Riverhounds, 4 straight victories in league competition and 6 consecutive wins in all competitions. Unbeaten in the last 9 for Bob Lilly's crew. Once again, 1-0 is the final here in Pittsburgh tonight. Time for our man of the match, presented by Heineken. And it's the goal scorer, and also keeping a couple of goals out, one notably towards the end of the first half. Kept out by the goal scorer, Arturo Ordonez, on the defensive side too.
And he did everything within this 94 minutes, whether it's in his box or the opposing box. When you get on a goal on the score sheet as a center back, not once but twice in 2 games running, well-deserved man of the match for Ordonez.
Once again, the final 1-0. Pittsburgh will take a timeout. We'll recap the night and wrap it all up. 1-0 Pittsburgh winners here tonight in USL Championship.
At AHN, we see you juggling 100 things at once. And slowing down, taking in every moment together. We see you finding time for what's important. And realizing when it's time, you don't have to go far.
We gotta go. All right, I got you.
At AHN, we see you.
It's Pride Night, Saturday, June 3rd at Highmark Stadium in Station Square. Join us for our first dollar beer night of the season. A halftime performance by Ex-Pogo and professional soccer as the Pittsburgh Riverhounds host Phoenix. Enjoy live music and food and drink specials in the tailgate zone before the game.
Blackstock gets this into the middle, flicked along and in! And who else but Albert Dequa?
Tickets as low as $18. Get yours today at riverhounds.com/tickets.
Back here at Station Square, Highmark Stadium, where it is a final. The hosts victorious 1-0 the final as we take a look at full-time highlights. A lot of action after the first 15 or 20 minutes or so in this one, and then we had plenty of opportunities. Nice night here in the Steel City. Temperature 75 degrees, rain earlier, but it all cleared up just in time for the opening kickoff. And here was the big-time action, Ricky.
Not a lot of opportunities going forward in terms of the run of play, but set pieces were so important for both sides. When you have Coronado Forbes sitting over the ball, you know quality's coming. Ordonez does extremely well to lose his mark, and then what a terrific header that is to get away from Fuenmayor right in front of Lambert, just nods it into the back of the net.
Forbes picking up another assist in his distinguished career. That's 59 career assists. Phoenix rising, plenty of opportunities though, and this was a good strike from Crutzen in the first half.
And he had multiple set-piece opportunities, just pulls it a bit too wide. And then this is almost an uh-oh moment here from Lambert. Plays this ball into no man's land. I think Kiz is caught between two minds as he sees Rios Novo off his line. Do I go around him or elects to go up and over? But thank God for the goalkeeper. It gets a big bear claw to it. Is it going in? Is it not going in? But what a golden opportunity that was for the Riverhounds to double their lead at the moment.
39th minute late in the first half. Phoenix still looking for what was the equalizer. This was an onside play, and one of the best chances that Phoenix had on the evening, Jose Hernandez.
You just want someone to break the line in terms of their run, to stretch the game. Arteaga gets on the end of it, and this is a brilliant opportunity from Majoba. Talk about a first touch to break his defender, to go into the interior. Mike DeShields has his body language all wrong, but big time save from Jamali Waite just to parry it away.
And Majoma actually did have to leave after that shot with an apparent injury. As we take a look at the final stats, look at that shot number, +10 for the visitors who fall 16-6, and possession again handily with Phoenix.
And then again, if you're asking Bob Lilly, you scored that goal in that first half, but that's all you need to do. Defensively, so sound and so compact in the second half. For Wangari, you have a lot of the ball, but what do you do when you're on the ball? You see 16 shots, only 4 on target. So you need to get better and more ideas and creativeness in that final third. But again, for Wangari, you're starting to see the puzzle piece come into fruition, but well-deserved 3 points for Bob Lilly's side.
It is a final 1-0. Pittsburgh gets the win. 4 straight in the league, 6 straight overall. It's the Open Cup quarterfinal next on Tuesday. For Pittsburgh, Arturo Ordonez, the goal scorer tonight. For our entire team, alongside my partner Ricky Lopez-Espin, Drew Casey saying so long from Highmark Stadium. You've been watching USL Championship.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.